Hello and welcome to Drive-In Double Feature Podcast. I'm Nathan.
I'm Ryan.
And this is the podcast where we talk about two movies a week every Tuesday and Thursday. And before we get into today's episode, I want to talk to you about our Patreon over at patreon.com/Drive-In Double Feature Podcast. Just for $5 a month, you help support us, get some streaming services, and you get some fun bonus content over there. So check that out. But moving into this week's movies, we're in for a big Jurassic week with Tammy and the T-Rex this Tuesday. That's my favorite dinosaur movie to come out in the early 90s. I don't know about you, Ryan.
Oh, well, I mean, I think there was only one.
Which one? Tammy and the
This
T-Rex.
one.
Yeah.
That's the only one. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
maybe prehysteria.
Yeah, exactly. Dinosaurs were back. I forget what year that one came out.
That was also 90s.
Yeah, so those are the ones that I remember. I remember dinosaurs were back way before a lot of other movies.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess there was like 3 or 4, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So this is part of that universe, Tammy and the T-Rex from 1994.
Don't you mean Tanny and the teenage
Yes,
Rex?
I see. That's the thing I thought was so weird. It said Denise Richards playing Tanny. And I was like, what? Where did this get changed?
I don't know, but apparently it was because I guess that was the original title logo.
Yeah.
Was Tanny and the teenage Rex. And
Yeah.
which I'm like, that's not even the name. Tanny.
Yeah, I've never heard the name Tanny. I don't understand that title. That is so dumb.
Well, because I was like, am I stupid? Is this called Tanny the whole time? And
No.
but then I was like, and I was listening throughout the whole movie, and I was like, do they say Tanny? And I'm like, I don't think they start saying Tanny.
No, they say Tammy. I just don't. I don't know. I guess they were so lazy to change like the titles, or the titles for whatever reason were made when this movie was a script or something. Who knows?
Who knows? Oh, I was gonna say you didn't mention the director.
I was gonna say, yeah, it makes sense coming from this director to make a mistake like that, because it is Stewart Raffill who made a movie we covered before, Mac and Me. Yes, we're talking about a Golden Raspberry Award winner director right here. So I can't believe this man had a career to even make another movie.
Where was McDonald's though?
Was there any product placement in this movie?
I don't think so. I mean, I was waiting for like Coke to be Lifeblood or like McDonald's to be like Tammy could have like worked at McDonald's and she could have worn her McDonald's uniform.
I think that, and they could have all danced to like with the dinosaur.
Yeah.
I think that would have been pretty cool. But no, I mean, I imagine companies stayed away from this director after Mac and Me. They totally just like dropped him. I mean, this movie is like super low budget, but I still can't believe that he was able to even just make any movie. And I mean, it has 2 up and coming celebrities in this movie. They were not famous at this time. I think Denise Richards was coming up, and Paul Walker wasn't even close to being like the fame level that he would become a little bit later. But yes.
What's your favorite Denise Richards movie, Nathan?
What else is Denise Richards? Scary Movie 3, right?
There's that, yeah. Well, I think that's Scary Movie 4, or is she in both? But
I would also say Starship Troopers is probably her best, right?
Well, we're going to talk about her best one coming up soon. The World Is Not Enough.
Yes, of course. We can't forget any of the Pierce Brosnan James Bond movies, right?
Yeah.
Those are all winners in my book. Even though, I've never seen that one, so we'll get to experience that one together.
Christmas Jones, can't wait.
Oh, I can't wait either. Oh, it's a Christmas movie?
No, that's her name.
Oh, that sucks. Well,
it's not like Die Hard.
No, it's not. It's not a Die Hard movie, I guess. That's what I call Christmas movies now, by the way.
Oh,
Die
yeah, I
Hard
do.
movies.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they're interchangeable. But Tammy and the T-Rex is a wacky movie, kind of bizarre comedy about a teenage boy who becomes a robot T-Rex. So, Ryan, I had seen this movie before. I know you had not seen this movie. Did you think it was a real T-Rex before you went to this movie? Did you realize that it was a robo T-Rex in this movie?
Oh, like
Like before
no,
like knowing anything
no.
about this
I,
movie.
I thought you were trying to be funny and ask me like, did you think it was a real T Rex on
Oh
screen?
no.
I'm like,
But did
what?
you know? Did you think it was? It was so realistic.
No, I didn't realize it was supposed to be like a robot in the movie
Yeah.
context. I thought
Yeah.
it was like an actual T Rex.
I forgot that. And like cuz I'd seen this and then when I watched it I was like, "Oh yeah, it's a robot. It's not like a real T-Rex with like a human brain in it."
Did now I remember reading, and I don't know if you read too, but the whole reason why they made this movie is just because they had access to an animatronic T Rex.
Yes.
They're just like oh like well we have this animatronic T Rex. How can we make a movie out of this?
Yeah, I kind of love that. It's like a movie out of just like, well, we have something. Let's just make a plot really quickly. And the plot they make out of this is so wild. It kind of plays a lot to at the beginning, two high school type movies with a love triangle because Paul Walker and Denise Richards, Tammy and Michael,
Cool.
they love each other, but the thing is Tammy is already called for by the movie's bad guy,
Billy.
Billy, which is a classic movie bad guy name, classic bully name. Um, and they have him and Paul Walker have a fight, and they grab each other's
Crotches. Like
genitals really
yeah.
hard. And of course, we get bumbling redneck cops in this one, and they don't break it up at all. They just let them grab it until until one
It's like
is
they're like,
done.
come on, boys, you gotta let go. One, two, and then,
Yeah,
but that's okay. Michael has a cup on.
yeah, exactly. He's a great actor. He was acting like he was in pain the whole time, but don't
Yeah.
worry, he's got a cup on, like he said. I love that one of Billy's henchmen is one of the the McPoyle brothers from Always Sunny.
I thought he looked familiar.
Yeah, really young role. But yeah, I mean, this movie gives off this vibe of it's just going to be silly, and it's definitely one of those movies where it's tongue in cheek. It knows what it is, and it's very apparent. Like we've watched a lot of B movies that have these crappy plots, but this one has a crappy plot. It embraces it. I think it's a fun movie. I think the second go around for me, I didn't like it as much because a lot of the humor the first time was just about how absurd it got. And when I kind of knew the jokes, it wasn't as entertaining, but yeah, I still appreciate it. How'd you feel about it?
This movie's great. I
Yeah.
loved it so much.
Yeah, yeah. You liked it?
Yeah, I really want to watch it again.
It was one of those movies where it ended like I gotta watch it again.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
I
cool.
just, I mean, there were some like really stupid moments in here, but
Hmm.
that's like you said, it's like it knows it's stupid,
Yeah.
and like like they they kidnap Michael and
Mm.
they cut open his head and then like they're just like playing with his like brain and like oh yeah here check this out. It's like just makes his body jolt and they're like what about this and it's just
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. And I love that scene because they get blood sprayed all over them
oh
because
yeah.
the bad guys have a whole gang and they're just talking with blood all over their faces like absolutely nothing is wrong with this situation. What a weird gang too. It's Dr. Gunther played by Terry Kisser. There's just a female henchman. There's like a weightlifting henchman, and then there's kind of like a little squirrely nerd that loves his computers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're all just like totally nonchalant about it
Hmm.
and his the female assistant in there I can't remember her name but
Ellen. Or sorry, no,
Ellen.
that's the actress.
Oh,
Helga.
Helga,
Helga.
Helga, that's it. And
Mhm.
they make like a big deal where she's always eating in every scene.
Yes.
and like she's always just like got like a strawberry or like she's eating or a gum or something like that. She always
Regular
she's
Brad Pitt.
yeah.
Um,
So it was pretty funny, but yeah, like you said, like they're just like cutting open his skull and just like blood is spraying everywhere, and they're just like, oh yeah, no big deal.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, the whole setup to this is so silly, where Paul Walker sneaks into Denise Richards' like room, and of course Billy finds out. Billy breaks into the home, and they kill they kill Paul Walker, just over this like fake relationship. I'm guessing it doesn't exist, right, between her and Billy.
Well, I think it existed at one point, maybe,
Yeah.
but um, they they kidnap him and drive him out to like a deserted area, and they just start beating him and kicking him and hitting him with baseball bats. But
Mm-hmm.
they don't kill him. They're just like, all right, if you go near her again, I'm going to kill you. And then just
Mm-hmm.
out of nowhere, a lion comes and attacks him.
Man, how did they get access to the lion? They
I,
had to work hard for that one.
I don't know, but that's what I imagine. Like they're just like, we have access to a lion. Let's make this how he dies.
Yeah, this is gonna be it. But yeah, the doctor finds out about Paul Walker being in I guess they don't kill him, he's in a coma, right? But when he's in a coma, the doctor kills him.
Well,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, and that's how they take him. They get his brain out, and because they want to put it in a robot T-Rex. It's kind of like a future warfare thing. They're like, oh well, humans, we're gonna be able to do robot humans one day with brains, and it's just silly because it makes you think like, well, why didn't you do that? Instead, you're putting it
right,
in a T-Rex. But it's the absurdity is what makes it funny.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And I really I thought the animatronics for the T Rex were good. I mean, it
Yeah.
was like I but I always liked it though, because like whenever they do like close up shots and they actually wanted like the little T Rex arms move, they just had like
Like a
this little
puppet.
T Rex like a glove almost.
Yeah, there's the scene where he dials a phone. Yes, a T-Rex dials a phone in this movie, and like it has a little puppet hand like twirling, picking all the numbers.
And then he holds the phone to like the big giant T Rex head, like to listen.
Yeah, I can't believe that they came up with this stuff. And this is right after he squishes the weightlifting like henchman to death, and he becomes like as flat as a pancake.
Yeah, it's like a Looney Tunes cartoon where it's just like he steps
Hmm.
on him and it's just he becomes like a pancake.
Yeah,
And they're like, and even like when he's dead, like, oh, we got to clean up these bodies, and they just like roll him up like a carpet.
but yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that. And he's like, "Oh man, well, whatever. We're just gonna roll him up." It's like a Looney Tunes cartoon, but way more violent. This movie is gory. There's tons of blood in this movie, which I think makes it even funnier. Is the idea that Paul Walker was just like a regular teenage like football player, becomes a T-Rex, and he seems to be normal because he can like try to communicate. But he becomes a murderer at the same time. He goes around and just kills people along the way with no
Yeah,
remorse.
he only murders the bad people, though. Come on.
So it's okay then.
Yeah, you can murder bad people. It's illegal.
Oh, okay. Do you have to determine they're legal or evil in the court of law, or do we just know that?
No, just as long as you have it on film.
Oh, okay, good, good. So then I feel totally okay with what happened.
No,
um,
but yeah, it just he's basically like Billy and all the other like bullies. He just murders all of
yeah,
them.
like at a party, he like gores one of them, like his intestines are falling out because the bully like goes over and like pees on him, and he's like, "Who put this stupid thing here?"
Like peeing on like just like who left this giant T Rex statue here?
And just starts peeing on him. Yeah, and that party seems really fun because they don't know. I guess I get it. Nobody calls it a dinosaur. They kind of just call it a monster, even though it is obviously a dinosaur running around.
Well, no, they do call it a dinosaur. I mean,
Yeah.
well, because well, so there's Byron, the one like the friend of the group, and
Mm-hmm.
he his dad is the sheriff,
Mm-hmm.
and he keeps telling him it's a dinosaur, and then everyone's like, It's like, and like when Tammy disappears, he's like, we think it was a dinosaur that did this.
Yeah. Did they say that the party?
That well, he says like yeah, because he runs into his dad at the party,
That's right.
and
Yeah.
he says it was a he said you're not gonna believe me, but it was a dinosaur because like I said, he's a good dinosaur. So like
He picks
by
Byron
he,
up.
he picks him up and he dusts off his shoulder with his little arm. And just...
Uh, yeah, of course. Oh, and just to say, this is a movie from the '90s, so Byron's gay, but he's definitely the butt of the joke because he's
oh
gay.
oh yeah, and it's like even like the well like so like I said, his dad is the sheriff, but he has those
Mm-hmm.
two hick deputies, and they're like
Mm-hmm.
trying really hard to like point out the fact that Byron is gay. Like they like mention it like multiple
Yes, like constantly, just like make innuendos, and
times. Yeah,
his dad has to like roll his eyes every time.
yeah. But
Mhm.
they, I don't know. It just like that scene where it's like super gory, and I think this movie. I think like originally this movie was PG-13,
Really?
and well, yeah, because that's what it said on IMDb. Because I think like this, like all the gory bits is like all the stuff that like they had to cut out to make it a PG-13
Gotcha.
movie, I
Gotcha.
believe. So, but yeah, because I believe when it was originally released, it was PG-13. But I don't know what the box office was or how much money this movie was. This movie even in theaters?
I don't know. It seems like a straight to VHS movie, right?
Seems
Um,
like it, but I was curious if it actually was or not.
yeah, because it's funny. I did try to find the box office, and I'm going to do it again right now, but I couldn't really find anything on that.
The only thing I saw, it had an estimated budget of $1 million.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Um,
But
yeah, I don't
yeah,
know.
but yeah, the movie just goes into even more like absurd territories. Like Michael, he goes out as the T Rex and he kidnaps Tammy,
Hmm.
and he's like doing charades as the dinosaur to like
Yeah, and he's
point
like
out like
doing the fingers. He's like two
with
syllables.
and he's like tapping the side of his head. Sounds like okay, rain. Okay, sounds like rain. Brain, Michael, Michael, you got Michael's brain in you. Oh my god.
Yeah, which is such a silly leap to like conclusions. um,
Yeah.
then it becomes a quest to get the brain out of the T-Rex and get him a body. And I think the best scene in the movie, my favorite scene, is when Denise Richards and Byron go to the morgue and they're showing the T-Rex dead bodies. And they're like, is this it? Is this the one you want? And then he's like, the T-Rex is thinking and wags his finger for no, or he's like, put it down. I thought that was so funny.
That part's great, but I thought you were gonna say my favorite scene though was because they were trying to retrieve his actual body at first.
Oh,
So
yeah,
they
yeah.
actually they go to Michael's funeral,
Mhm.
and and like that's like they one reason why they had kidnapped Michael in the first place is that he has like no living relatives, and like the only one is his only
His
living relative is
uncle.
his uncle. And at first like his uncle is like they established that he's a drunk because
Hmm.
he just has a flask with him in the hospital when Michael's in the hospital. But like at the funeral he's like totally drunk, and he's like it's like everyone just knows I'm a drunk. and just, and he's like, but I love you, boy. And then like Michael as the T-Rex is watching, and like the T-Rex is
Yeah, it's
crying, like,
crying. Yeah.
and then the preacher just like literally like shoves the uncle out of the way, and like he
Mhm.
passes out drunk.
Yeah. Well, the scene, well, what happens right after that when they get the body out is so unexpected. I forgot that they go into the grave, they go to the body, and the body looks like a decayed corpse. It's like covered in maggots and rats, and then they have to get
Uh,
out of there.
well, yeah, that's like one of the most disgusting bits.
Yes, yeah. But I mean, I thought it was pretty funny, and it becomes a wild movie. Like there's even a car chase where the T Rex is in the back of the truck, and they're having to like dodge the cops.
Not
God,
the first time we saw the T-Rex in the back of a truck this week.
No, which is really surprising. These T-Rex movies are really interesting.
Yeah, but so like when I was watching this movie though, I really didn't know like like I thought it was going to be like I know this sounds weird, but I thought it was going to be like more straightforward,
No,
kind of
I
like
get it. Yeah.
played for straight almost, where it's like they're like okay, they're just like maybe like they're gonna have like some goofy moments, but I didn't realize like
Mhm.
how like this is like a straight up like parody, like where it's just like
Yeah.
everyone acts like really ridiculous in this movie.
No, yeah, no, I totally agree. That's how I felt the first time I watched it. Tammy and the T-Rex, it seems like it's just like a bad movie. Like, oh, haha, it's so bad it's good type movie. But no, it's a joke. It's a comedy movie. That's what it is. It's a comedy. It's not really a horror movie or anything. Hyper violent B movie, but I don't know. It's easy to throw on and just have a good time with it. And like you said, it just gets more and more absurd as it goes along.
I mean, it just when they showed Denise Richards riding a T Rex that's running across the plains, it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, come on, they can't be trying to be that serious.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm trying to think because it's completely dropped my mind. I remember how it ends with the brain in the computer, but like, what's the connecting bit there?
Well, the connecting bit is they don't show the connecting bit
That's
because
okay. That's right. That's why I'm like, it's gone from my brain. What happens? Because nothing
well,
happens.
like because at the end of the movie, uh, they do corner Tammy and the T Rex,
Yeah.
and they're able to get Tammy away, and then Michael, as the T Rex, murders Dr. Gunther and his assistant,
Hmm.
um, and all the cops like shoot the T Rex to death,
Hmm.
and Tammy's like, "No, Michael," and then it just fades to black, and then like the next scene, like Tammy's really happy, and she's like, is her mom's like, I can't believe how happy she is after everything she went through, and then her father's like, well, I can't believe we're allowing her to have him upstairs.
Hmm.
And it's then the next scene is just Michael's brain is in a bowl. And
Yeah, yeah. It's connected to wires to computer. Denise Richards pours him alcohol and like just dumps it on his brain.
right, well, they're still looking for a body, but that's like it's like, oh, hey, did you hear about those skiers that they found those lost skiers that died? They're all dead. I'm gonna go check them out at the morgue tomorrow.
Yeah, which I think is funny. But we get what an ending scene we get. It lasts for a while of Denise Richards strip teasing the brain, and we hear Paul Walker through the computer going, "Oh yeah, baby, I love this," and electricity is shooting out of the brain as this is
Yeah,
happening. It's so bizarre.
it's such a weird ending. Like
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna go for something really happy, like oh, like she was gonna find a body or
Hmm.
something like that. But I was not expecting her to do like a 10-minute
I
striptease
know, and
to
it's
it.
so long.
Yeah, and it's just at that point I'm like, okay, this is going on a little too long, but
Hmm.
I guess they're like, oh, we got Denise Richards, she's hot, so
So we're just gonna make her strip tease. Yeah.
yeah. So all in all, though, I thought I had a great time watching it. Like I
Hmm.
said, it's completely a silly movie. I I recommend it.
Yeah. No, I recommend it too. I may have not liked it as much this time around, but I think your first time watch is going to be really strong for this one because it is just absolutely bizarre, and you're bound to get some good laughs. There's a good little bit of gore in it too, so enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, what more could you ask for from a
Hmm.
movie?
But yeah, I think that wraps it up for today, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. Then I'm gonna pass it over to you. What remind us what we're gonna be talking about on Thursday?
Well, Nathan, like I said, we're keeping this Dino Week going,
Hmm.
and we're going to be talking about 1995's Theodore Rex, which is free on YouTube right now.
Perfect. I'm so excited to watch that one. But if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to email us at driveanddoubleFeaturePodcast@gmail.com. You can also tweet at us at DIDFpod. But until next time.
Until next time.
Everything is different. It's a different game. Jump into the fire. Jump into my brain. Dinosaur music inside my brain.